The Nephilim proved to be in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of the true God continued to have relations with the daughters of men, and they bore sons to them. They were the mighty ones, who were of old, the men of fame. Now, the question on everyone's mind is this: did giants really exist in our past, and do they still exist today? First, we must keep in mind that the stories of giants is told in many ancient cultures. Similarly, they were known to be gods or demigods, or creations by gods. One of the most commonly known stories and believed story is that of the Nephilim in the Holy Scriptures. As the story goes, and I'm going to try to be as biblically accurate as possible, this story begins with the angels of heaven, or sons of God, the messengers. Now, we don't know how many of them there are, but we do know biblically that there is well over tens of thousands of them.
We are at the famous site of the giant footprint, or the footprint of God, here near Mphaluzi in South Africa, very close to the Swaziland border. Now, this is one of the greatest examples of an ancient footprint, a giant footprint about 4 feet high, in rough granite. It's between 200 million and 3 billion years old. That's what geologists will tell you. I'm going to just take you, if you follow me, up to the top, where it's imprinted against the side of the rock, which means it's been around for so long that the tectonic plates and the movements have actually pushed it up at the apex of this little outcrop. It's quite spectacular, so just walk with me and I'll show you. I don't know of any other example of a footprint in rock that is as amazing as this, and this should be drawing 20 million tourists to South Africa every year, and nobody knows about it. It's unbelievable. And there we have it. Let's get closer. Oh wow, this is just beautiful. Look at this. There's the, you know, when there's the big toe and the other 4 toes down to the small toe, down to the heel. What's fascinating about this is anybody that does a study of this will notice this piece sticking out here. It's like when you put your foot in mud and you pull it out, your toes will lift up a little mud where your toes were, and that's exactly what seems to have happened here. This rough granite is just, it's pulled up this overhang here. It's spectacular, and I see that people have been visiting here because they've been leaving little coins here, which is wonderful. Maybe just come closer and show this from more close up. Okay, well, I don't know who else has filmed this, but I think we'll put this up for everybody to see, for everyone to really appreciate. This is a spectacular bit of human history. There were giants on Earth.
This is a rocky outcrop near the little town of Amsterdam in South Africa, near the Swaziland border. This is what looks like a giant's footprint. It is 1.30 meters from the base of the heel to the tip of the big toe. You can see it's got its 5 toes, the big toe, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 54 centimeters across at the widest point. And this looks like a partial print of the right foot, showing the heel with exactly the same dimensions as the left foot.
You see, a fossil, well, most fossils, are formed when a plant or animal are suddenly buried beneath water, mud, and silt. This is why you don't see fossils that are recent. Are you with me so far? If you've been paying attention, you know that the number of giant skeletons that have been found as of today is in the thousands. Are they all a hoax? These discoveries have been going on since the early 1900s, and they are not found in just one place, no. They are everywhere. First off, folks, let me tell you something. When I say something is millions of years old, I am only reporting data from the scientists who determine these dates. It does not mean that I agree. I know better. You see, there are various methods to determining the age of a fossil. Unfortunately, the older something is, the less accurate the dating. And these dating methods are based on assumption. They assume uranium-238 has a half-life of about 4.5 billion years, based on a standard that was created back in 1971. Assuming that the uranium-238 to uranium-235 ratio has been constant since the forming of the Earth. The truth is, it varies from rock to rock. How about explaining to me why they find carbon-14 in coal, diamond, and dinosaur bones, when carbon-14 has a half-life of 5,730 years? By the way, they don't just find giant skeletons. They find giant weapons, spearheads, axes, swords, footwear, giant steps. Look at all the megalithic structures around the world, folks. Someone had to lift these things. Look at the giant stone balls they found in Costa Rica, Bosnia, New Zealand, North Dakota. I am inclined to believe that these were actually used as weapons, hurled through the air by giants using a very large catapult, or even a handheld slingshot or handheld catapult like the ones you see in this art piece. Some geologists actually want you to believe that some of these spheres are concretions formed naturally over millions of years. Come on, man. You know, I try to give geologists and other scientists a chance, but they always come up with this garbage.